All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Matty here from Chill TCG. Today, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Grand Finals match from Chill Series number 44, which wrapped up this past Wednesday, 400 and I believe 410 players. Absolutely incredible event, the last tournament of the team up through Chilling Reign format. The last tournament before, of course, Evolving Skies releases this upcoming week. We did have Evolving Skies' packs in the prizing, though, so absolutely incredible tournament. In the finals here, we have Tapa versus Shuto. We're going to be watching from Tapa's perspective. Tapa is running, of course, Mewtwo Dark Toolbox with Umbreon Darkrai, Weavile-GX Moltres. We saw it in previous weeks, an incredible deck, one of the best decks in the format right now. He's actually going up against Shuto playing Ice Rider VMAX, of course, with that Inteleon engine. This isn't a matchup that we've actually seen before in Grand Finals here at Chill Series, so definitely going to be a good one. I know when we were doing the interview with Eric Brooks in the past, he said that Ice Rider matchup definitely wasn't great, but I think that it's anyone's game to win, and I'm really excited. So Tapa here, he's going to go second, but Shuto, it looks like he just starts with the Sobble, benches the Ice Rider V, and then he's going to go ahead and pass that turn. Nothing else, I don't believe, really done. Tapa here, though, he's starting with the Mewtwo and Mew-GX. Not a terrible Pokemon to start with. I mean, realistically, we're going to have to utilize our GX Pokemon to do the attacks that we want to do. Mewtwo, Mew-GX, 270 HP. So, you know, definitely better than starting with Greninja Zoroark-GX with 250, or maybe a couple other options. But starting with the Mewtwo, definitely not a bad kind of card to be starting with here. We're definitely going to be utilizing it a lot throughout the matchup either way. And it looks like he's going to go ahead and Pokemon Communications. Not sure exactly what he will be grabbing. It seems like he grabs the Dedenne there, and he's going to go ahead and pitch that hand. He's going to get away Energy, Umbreon Darkrai, Red and Blue, and Reset Stamp. That Red and Blue definitely going to be really useful in the matchup. We do see the Sneasel in hand as well, and a Crobat to draw some more cards, and a Quick Ball. So these hands actually have been phenomenal. We got the Research and the Energy, almost everything that you could possibly want on this first turn here going second. We're going to see from Tapa. By the way, both players are from Japan. Japan has officially just taken over Chill Series in recent weeks. So many of our previous champions this season have been from Japan, and I really do love to see it. Shout out to all you guys, all the Japanese players. They're phenomenal. Their lists are super cool. They're absolutely incredible players, and it's always an absolute pleasure to watch them every week. But we get the full bench lineup. So now we got the Sneasel. We've got the type Null, and we have the Moltres and the Mewtwo in the active spot, which we are going to attach the Energy to. We're going to go ahead and Dire Flame Wings, and we could go ahead and Crobat here, but we might want to leave that bench space open for something in the future, potentially a Marshadow. But it looks like, and I'm not actually, I'll have to double check. So Shuto's Ice Rider list is actually only running one Path to the Peak and one Viridian Forest, so this might be a big reason why we might not even need Marshadow too much in this matchup. The double tag call in hand is actually quite good. Not going to lie. We can Red and Blue next turn, get some extra energies on board. We already have two. Evolve into the Weavile-GX, which is going to be really good. Nothing really too much on top of that. We're probably going to want to top deck another way to draw some more cards next turn. But let's see what Shuto is about to do. I mean, that first turn was a little bit lackluster. The first turn from Tapa, though, absolutely stellar, exactly what you want to see. But, you know, I think there's a lot of game left to play. I think that Ice Rider does kind of have the slight advantage in the matchup. But I think overall this matchup is actually somewhat even. I think if we can get a Dark Moon GX, take a 3-prize KO and a VMAX, we can kind of perhaps use that momentum to carry through the rest of the matchup if we are Tapa here. But things can go either way. Just, you know, if an Ice Rider is able to get an early KO on a Mewtwo, or you know, a 3-prize tag team Pokemon like that, you know, same type of thing, right? So I think early game momentum is going to be really important. We see this Drizzile come out. We're going to evolve the Sobble. Shady Dealings will get procced here, and we'll see. We're going to go ahead and grab Erica's Hospitality. Actually a really great card, because he's going to go ahead and draw 5 off that Erica's for absolutely no drawback. So absolutely incredible there. Massive hand at this point. It's kind of hard to tell because of the sleeves that Taku is, Shuton is running. I think he's got 9 cards in hand. So definitely a decent sized hand. You got to think some of that is going to be important. Here comes a Tool Scrapper. Just going to go ahead and discard that Air Balloon. You know, you might as well play it. It's definitely going to help you at some point, or at least be somewhat of a hindrance to Tapa here. But kind of taking his time. I mean, he's probably, kind of determining his course of action. Definitely wants to get more Sobbles on his bench here. Wants to get some energies on board, perhaps another Ice Rider. And kind of just do what Ice Rider likes to do. Technically, it is possible this turn to get a VMAX and 2 energies on. But most likely not going to be happening. Here comes the Pokemon. So like I said, there's the extra Sobble and the extra Ice Rider V. Do we have a VMAX? Do we have energies in hand? This is a list that doesn't run a lot of energies, but we do run, I believe, some Capacious Buckets in here. Yeah, we run 2. So we also have that Viridian. So plenty of ways to find those extra energies. We're actually going to scoop up the Drizzile, promote the Sobble, and we're going to attach to the Sobble to go ahead and keep calling. So realistically, not the start that you really want. If you are Shuto here playing Ice Rider, you would like to have a little bit more of a solidified starting couple turns. But not much you can really do. But Tapa here, I think he's going to go ahead and start rolling. He actually top decks the Weavile-GX, which is a little bit interesting, but I think overall we're probably just going to go with red and blue either way. You got to be careful, though. Next turn, Melanie. You don't really have to be careful because that Drizzile got scooped up last turn, so there's no threat of a quick shooting Inteleon the next coming turn. And actually, as I take a look at it, this list is running 2 quick shooting Inteleon, 1 Sword and Shield Shady Dealings Inteleon. But since Drizzile got scooped up last turn, we don't really have that threat of the extra 2 damage counters on the Mewtwo, so extremely unlikely that we get KO'd next turn. I think it's actually impossible. So we can go ahead and kind of set up, KO this active Sobble, and then potentially we can get a nice Dark Moon GX attack off next turn. Definitely would be really beneficial. Here comes a second Air Balloon. He's going to be able to put that right back on the Mewtwo. And we're going to actually, red and blue to evolve this Silvally-GX, and I think that's actually a phenomenal play now that I think about it, since that Weavile was in hand. So that's actually an incredible top decking the Weavile, so we can go ahead and evolve into Silvally-GX so we can disc reload. And we're going to draw 3 extra cards off that. We see the Viridians, we see Pokecom, and we see Boss's Orders. So, I think at this point, we don't know if we really even need to play that Viridian this turn. We have 6 energies on our board. We don't really want to enable any more energies for Shuto here. So I think we can go ahead, just kind of pop off with a normal little attack here and do enough damage to KO this Sobble. And that's going to be kind of a win-win situation if you're Tapa here, because you're taking that prize card. Your board state is definitely a little bit more advantageous. He actually switches into the Silvally-GX to go ahead and Brave Buddies, which will of course be doing enough 120 damage. I think that's perhaps the smarter play. I mean, even though this Mewtwo wasn't in threat or wasn't in jeopardy of getting KO'd next turn, still a Pokemon that you kind of want to remain healthy. And I think it's overall somewhat unlikely that we're even going to see a 250 damage attack from an Ice Rider VMAX this turn. However, we do see the Melanie that's going to attach 1 energy to the bench Shadow Rider V, or Ice Rider V, my bad. And he's going to draw +3 cards. So if we have a switching out, maybe a Drizzile, or a way to find Drizzile, we can definitely see an energy attachment, a VMAX, and a way to get into the active spot. And we could see a KO on the Silvally-GX this turn. That would perhaps turn things back into the favor of in Shuto's favor here, I think, or at least somewhat slightly, at least even up the matchup. Here comes the Viridian, so we know we have that extra energy for the turn. But do we have a way to find the VMAX and a way to switch out, right? Those are the kind of 2 big questions. But 3 Sobbles on board. That's 3 Shady Dealings Drizziles ready to be put out. And I think that it's definitely really likely we might actually see it. Now, Shuto is actually running an Articuno, a Mew, and a Dedenne-GX on top of the, the Inteleon lineup and the Ice Rider lineup. So 3 really good, important cards that definitely could be really useful in the list. Articuno could be extremely clutch, protect your bench Pokemon from getting bossed up, and that Dedenne-GX could be massive, but here comes 1 Shady Dealings Drizzile, and it looks like he might be just grabbing level balls and some evolution incense, and I think he could chain this to turn this into not only from 3 Sobbles to 3 Drizziles this turn, but also get an Ice Rider VMAX on board. It's actually interesting, he splits the energy, though, between his 2 Ice Riders, and I think this is a really interesting play. I think he might be, I don't know. I don't know maybe what the benefit would have been to splitting the 2 energies between the Ice Riders. It definitely seemed to be more of a defensive play. Maybe he doesn't assume that he would have all the pieces needed to kind of move into the active spot with the 2 energy VMAX to get the KO on the Silvally. Or maybe he just doesn't find that to be a worth it play. But definitely interesting nonetheless. Definitely very, very interesting. And he actually just passes. So we evolved 2 of those Sobbles into Drizziles. We attached an energy to both of the Ice Rider Vs, but we leave the Sobble in the active spot, and we actually pass the turn here, Shuto does, which is definitely an interesting play. Definitely not very aggressive, and I think this really opens up a lot of lanes here for Tapa this turn to take potentially 2 prize cards. We have the boss's orders in hand. We have plenty of energies on board. We're going to go ahead and just grab 1 extra energy here with the Viridian Forest. And we're also going to be able to Dire Flame Wing, I believe, for another energy on top of that. Boss's orders in hand. We have Pokecom. We could calm away the Sneasel as well. But he's actually going to manual retreat into the Mewtwo. And now we're going to go ahead and boss's orders up one of these Ice Rider Vs. We're probably going to go ahead and attach. And then we're going to go ahead and Dire Flame Wing. So that's going to be just another +2 energy, even though we just discarded 2. So we're right back to 6 energies on board. He might bench the other Sneasel, and I like that play. Extra security here. And it looks like we're going to go ahead and get the KO on this Ice Rider. He's going to go ahead and disc reload for 1 card, which happens to be Quick Ball off the top deck. Not going to be really beneficial to him at the moment. But here comes the Shadow Connection. Let's go ahead and move some energies around. Looks like he's kind of spreading them out across his board as sort of a fail-safe to make sure that his energies are protected no matter what kind of might get KO'd next turn. Definitely the smart play overall to do. And we might just be seeing a Dark Pulse here, which is definitely going to be enough to get the KO. 210 damage on the dot. Definitely super, super awesome. That is going to be 6 energies on board. 210 damage from the Dark Pulse. An incredible attack for only 2 energies as well. And since these energies are so split across Tapa's board, no matter what ends up perhaps getting KO'd this turn, it's going to be pretty much completely safe to come back and Dark Moon GX, right? And since we KO'd that Ice Rider, we even have Ice Rider V. We have 3 prize cards remaining, so even if we see a VMAX come out here from Shuto and it takes the KO on the Mewtwo, we're going to be able to Quick Ball for another Mewtwo. We can Dire Flame Wings and attach, and boom, that's 6 energies for a Dark Moon GX for the last KO for the last 3 prize cards. So kind of a really good situation right now, I think, if you are Tapa. No Marnie this turn since we did just see the Melanie come out. There is 2 energies on this Ice Rider. But a lot of pieces still needed to even KO the Mewtwo. And if you do evolve, you definitely want to make sure that you do get the KO. So here comes the VMAX. Most likely we're going to see a quick shooting Inteleon this turn. So like I said, this Mewtwo definitely in jeopardy of getting knocked out. But again, probably not that big of a deal considering how we already have 4 energies split across our board. We can Dire Flame Wing. We can attach manually as well. And that's going to be 6 energies for the KO on the VMAX with Dark Moon GX. So I think that Tapa played this matchup extremely well. Definitely kind of a tough game here in terms of draws for Shuto, but actually we see the reset stamp could change things up a little bit. The Viridians is still in the active spot. We still actually have a Quick Ball in hand, which I believe is almost everything we need. However, we're going to need a way to switch out of the active spot if this Mewtwo gets KO'd. We can't really leave anything up, which might make things a little bit awkward. So we'll see. I think that reset stamp was actually pretty huge, unless we top deck a switching out. If Tapa top decks is switching out this turn, that would be really good. We actually see the Shady Dealings Inteleon get evolved first, and I think this is a smart play. We're going to grab 2 trainer cards, one of those most definitely being a way to get a quick shooting Rapid Strike Inteleon. It looks like actually we aren't going to do that, and we're just going to go ahead and hit the Mewtwo for 250 damage, so potentially might have prized the 2 quick shooting Inteleons. That might not have been what happened. I'm not sure. But that path to the peak did come into play, and he was hoping that that might have protected him for the turn, but unfortunately, just not going to be the case with that Viridian Forest being in his hand off the top deck. So absolutely insane turn of events here. Realistically, that top deck was everything he needed. Tapa here just going to kind of roll away with game number 1 in the grand finals of Chill Series number 44. Decisive game 1 victory. And I keep saying Taka. Shuto is going to want to go ahead and go first. So let's move on to game number 2. I don't know if we're going to stick around here to see the Dark Moon GX for the KO. It looks like we are. Enjoy it, everybody. Dark Moon GX absolutely busted instant KO on this 320 HP Ice Rider VMAX. So we're going to go ahead, move on to game number 2, and we'll see if Shuto can kind of bring this back. All right, here we are in game number 2 of Shield Series number 44 Grand Finals. Tapa is up 1-0 against Shuto here. So Dark Box, it seems like the matchup, it was played pretty properly from Tapa. The draws from Shuto were a little bit, not the best that last game, but definitely seemed to be a pretty decisive victory, if I do say so myself. And we see another Mewtwo start. However, definitely a better start here from Shuto with the Ice Rider, the Energy, and the double Sobble. Definitely kind of everything that you would have wanted last turn going first, but it seems that things might be definitely in his favor here, at least at the very start of the turn. The hand here for Tapa, not that bad, however. We can definitely grab a Pokemon here off the Pokemon Communications. We can attach an Energy, and we could go ahead and research to draw fresh 7 cards. So not the worst hand, to be 100% honest with you. Let's see what he draws off the research. He definitely has a lot of pieces. He would like to get some of these Pokemon in the discard pile. He's going to go ahead and get double Sneasel on board, and definitely going to be hoping, I think. Does he play the Viridians? Yes, he does. And he's actually going to discard the Dark Energy to grab another one before he researches. Always a smart play. We're going to get the manual attachment here. And if we're able to find the Moltres, that could be a +2 energies on your first turn going second. Definitely pretty beneficial. Yeah, let's see what he draws off the research. Definitely going to be an important 7-card draw here. Quick Ball. There's the Weavile-GX type Null. Actually, a really great hand to draw into, if I'm being 100% honest here. And again, just like we saw last game, we're going to be able to evolve that Weavile next turn manually. And then we can, of course, red and blue up the Silvally-GX to not only get both of those GX Pokemon on board, but also accelerate 2 energies and also disc reload next turn. So we're going to go ahead and quick ball for the Moltres, discarding the Sableye and Mega Tyranitar, and we're going to go ahead and Dire Flame Wings, get that 2 energies on board. So if this hand kind of stays as is, it's honestly a super ideal hand, and I really like that first turn from both players. Realistically, a really good start. We'll see what Shuto decides to kind of pull out here on turn 2, or what he can manage to pull out. We're going to see a Shady Dealings right off the bat. Let's see what he grabs for a trainer card. Could be grabbing a draw supporter, depending on what he has in his hand. If he already has a research or a Marnie or something of the such, then he could be potentially grabbing some other tools. So we're going to see the Pokemon Communications come out. He's going to calm away the Drizzile. Might be grabbing the VMAX here, and it looks like he is. So prioritizing the VMAX, going to get that damage off on the Mewtwo this turn. Potentially could be really good. We know he has Viridians in hand. So we're actually going to scoop up that Drizzile to reuse it to evolve the other Sobble. And I actually do like this play. So here comes the second Drizzile, second Shady Dealings, but only one of them on the board, of course, currently. And let's see what he grabs here. This is going to be a quick ball. He could be grabbing the Darkrai-GX, or he could be grabbing another Sobble if that last card is a research or a draw supporter. We'll have to see. He actually is grabbing the Articuno, a really great card. And if you didn't know, there's the research, by the way. If it's in the active spot, your opponent's supporter cards have no effect on like any of your water type Pokemon on the bench. Just basically means that none of your bench Pokemon, because they're all water type in the matchup, can get bossed up if Articuno was in the active spot. So a very great defensive card. Here we see the 2 Sobbles, Drizzile, 2 Ice Riders. And I think this is exactly what we kind of want this turn. I think we are going to be able to see a Dark Moon GX on the active Ice Rider, but I think that 250 damage might just be important enough to where the matchup is definitely, I think, in Shuto's favor at this point. The top deck, I believe, is the red and blue anyway. Or no, he had it in hand. I think the top deck might have been either Quick Ball or Tackle. I honestly do forget. But the red and blue most definitely going to come out. And I think at this point, you kind of have to grab Silvally-GX. We're going to accelerate the 2 energies. I believe we're going to discard the Quick Ball and the Dark Energy. I think that's smart. Keeping that Tackle, definitely a good play. So we're going to grab the Silvally-GX. We can evolve that Sneasel with Weavile in hand. We're going to be able to disc reload and draw 4 cards. And hopefully that 4-card draw is going to be a pretty good one. I think we still need an energy. We can grab it with Viridians, which is important. And we might actually Viridian away the Tag Call, potentially, just to draw 5 cards off the disc reload. But we could also do that after the disc reload. Not entirely sure what the best play would be, but we're going to go ahead and Dire Flame Wing. So 4 energies on board, make that 5. Now all we need is going to be that last manual attachment for turn. So he's going to disc reload before the Viridian Forest, see if he just draws into the energy. He does, as well as the Umbreon and Darkrai, which he needed in the discard pile. So an incredible draw there. Honestly, off of the disc reload. So he's going to Viridian away the energy, making sure he keeps some of those in the discard pile. Definitely a little bit of a risky play. Continuing to dump some of these energies in the discard pile, since it's pretty likely that something will get KO'd the following turn. Well, it's extremely likely, but you know, I'm not a dark box player. I don't know as much as these players that we're watching right now, but it just kind of seems to me that you know, you don't want to go too heavy on the energies in the discard pile. But what do I know? It looks like he's actually debating benching this Umbreon and Darkrai instead of potentially grabbing a Crobat or a Jirachi-GX, or not Jirachi, Dedenne-GX off this, which is definitely an interesting play. But I think here you're honestly forced to go with the Dark Moon GX and take the 3 prize cards this turn. I think that would be very, very important. I think you need to get those prize cards early, and I think that this Mewtwo is going to get KO'd next turn, so you just kind of have to deal with it. The Mallow-Lana could be kind of cool. I don't know if you really want to Mallow-Lana the active. I just think that you're probably going to get KO'd anyway. Actually, though, it could be a really good play considering it kind of protects you from just the quick shooting KO play. You're going to force him to get the Melanie, the VMAX, and the 2 energies next turn. So I actually really do like Mallow-Lana. We also have Quick Ball to pivot back into the Mewtwo. We have the energy in hand. So if we can heal 120 damage, Dark Moon GX, take 3 prize cards. You know, Shuto only has 4 cards in hand, so this could be an absolutely phenomenal turn. He actually attaches the air balloon to the Mewtwo, and we're not going to see the Mallow-Lana this turn. Although we can't actually because we red and blued. That would be pretty cool, but he's actually going to bench the other Mewtwo because he did discard the Umbreon and Darkrai. So we're going to go ahead and promote the full HP Mewtwo, which effectively does the same thing. We're going to put 6 energies on this guy, KO with Dark Moon GX, take 3 prize cards, and really, I think if we are Tapa here, we're just really hoping that we survive, you know what I mean, and that we're not about to get KO'd and lose 6 energies. That would be really, really devastating. But only 4 cards in hand, a lot of pieces still needing to be into effect, right? We need the Melanie, we need the manual attachment for turn, and we need a quick shooting Inteleon. If all those things were to happen, then this game is as good as over. But I think taking 3 prize cards here for Tapa is definitely the best play, and definitely a really beneficial one. We see the research, the red and blue, and the air balloon off the prize cards. Definitely not too bad. The red and blue, I don't know if it's going to help you at this point. It could. I think we still maybe have 1 or 2 energies left in the deck. But it's not looking super phenomenal. There's the quick shooting Inteleon. So unfortunately, we're going to go ahead and just take 2 prize cards here on that benched, or 3 prize cards here by KOing the benched Mewtwo and Mew-GX. And this is going to be really good because that's more likely now we're going to be capable. We're not actually able to KO the active Mewtwo, but even if we hit it for 250, we guarantee that we have the game next turn. So effectively kind of checkmating. But we still need Melanie. We need Switch. We need a lot of a few more pieces here for Shuto, but definitely possible. There's the manual attachment. Are we going to be able to see perhaps a shady dealing Drizzile to find Melanie? If we have access to double Drizzile, we could have Switch and Melanie, which would be the 250 damage on the Mewtwo that we need. The GX attack already kind of popped for the Mewtwo, so I don't think we're really able to KO the active Ice Rider VMAX without Dark Moon GX next turn. We actually see the pass, which is a little bit crazy. So I guess he just didn't have it. Shuto's deck just kind of not performing, not drawing as well as he might have hoped. But we're going to see the red and blue come out, and this might set up for potentially next turn, or a KO4 next turn. That could be good. We're also going to evolve into a second Weavile-GX. Always a kind of a good backup plan here. We're not going to be able to research this turn, but we are going to get those 2 energies from the deck onto the board, and we are going to get another Dire Flame Wings off. So now we're going to go up to 9 energies, and if this Mewtwo doesn't get KO next turn, which it most likely will, it definitely will, we still have kind of things set up, and the disc reload's so powerful. Going to be able to go ahead and get that set up here. Unfortunately, I think, I still think it's just not very likely we're going to be able to go through the Ice Rider VMAX. And even if we KO this Articuno, Shuto's not going to bench any more 2 prize Pokemon. So I think that the prize race here, it just isn't going to work out for Tapa's favor this game. And unfortunately, even though he does have 9 energies on board, he has a full HP Mewtwo and Mew-GX. That thing is as good as knocked out for next turn. And unfortunately, I think that's really just what this game is going to come down to. He's going to move the energies off the Mewtwo. Definitely a smart play. There's no reason to have that many on the Mewtwo. I think you really only need 2 to do enough damage to KO the active Articuno with Dark Pulse. But after that, the question really becomes, do we even have enough to, do substantial damage to the Ice Rider? And that's if we survive. Just a lot of things that really need to happen. And if it's, I'm not even sure if it's actually possible. It could be, though. I don't know. He's actually going to move the 6 energies onto the Mewtwo. He could be retreating. And it looks like that this might be the play, actually, right? So you kind of force him to have to boss for game next turn, and by that time we might have enough energies on our board to go ahead and KO with Dark Pulse. I think that might be the strategy here. Quick balling for the Dedenne-GX could be a pretty interesting play. I think we still need Greninja and Zoroark in our discard pile. I don't believe that we've discarded it yet if we want to utilize the Dark Pulse attack. So might have to dig through his deck a little bit. He could be grabbing Marshadow here. If we get rid of that Viridian Forest, that could make things a lot more difficult for him. It's not going to help us anymore because we don't have any energies in our deck. So I actually like this Marshadow play a lot. Absolutely just super disruptive Marshadow here. He's actually discarding the Research. And then we're going to discard the Viridian. So now we're going to attach the Air Balloon, and we're going to be able to Crobat here for 6 more cards. 17 cards in deck as well. Let's see what he draws here. There's the Cherish Ball, and there's the Tag Call and Greninja and Zoroark GX. The thing here is I don't know if we really have a way to... I don't know if we have a way to discard it. Do we? Brave Buddy's, though, going to be able to get the KO in the Articuno. We could top deck something. The thing is, now that that Viridian is gone, we don't have a way to discard the Greninja and Zoroark-GX. So definitely could be something that come back and kind of bite him in the butt. Let's see what he takes off the prize cards. It's an energy. Yeah, I believe we need that Greninja and Zoroark discarded. We see the manual attachment. Here's Level Ball, so he's going to be able to just go ahead and grab Boss's orders. And that is going to go ahead and I think be game number 2. I think he's got everything that he needs. Boss should be in deck. He does have the quick shooting Inteleon on the board. So here comes the Shady Dealings. There's the Boss's orders. So, either way, Shuto just kind of had it like that. Going to be a great game 2 win. And it looks like we're going to game 3 for Chill Series number 44, the 410 player tournament. All comes down to this last game 3. Super, super excited. Both players playing really well. This matchup is actually extremely entertaining. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Ice Rider or Dark Box. This isn't a matchup we're going to be able to see in a couple weeks after rotation. Ice Rider definitely going to be a great post-rotation deck, whereas Dark Box definitely not going to be existent after rotation, but definitely a great matchup. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let's move on to game number 3 and see who walks away with, the first place finish for Chill Series number 44. All right, game number 2. Let's get right into it. Or sorry, not game number 2. Game number 3. We're in game 3 here. My apologies. Winner takes all here after this game. We have Tapa playing Dark Box, and we have Shuto playing Ice Rider VMAX. So definitely going to be a super interesting matchup. It looks like we're starting with Umbreon and Darkrai. Not that bad. Same HP amount as Mewtwo and Mew-GX. Retreat cost of 2. We need Dark Moon GX anyway, so definitely not a bad Pokemon to be starting with. We also have Quick Ball and Type Null in hand, Red and Blue, Tag Call, so a lot of really great cards in the hand. Quick Ball, Dark Energy. So yeah, I mean, it looks to be another Quick Ball too off the draw for turn. So not going to be a terrible first turn here, I think, for Tapa. He should be able to grab most of these cards that he needs. And we'll see what he chooses to grab off this Tag Call. He has Red and Blue in hand, Greninja and Zoroark, as well as Mega Sableye and Tyranitar. We're probably going to want to get these guys in the discard pile while grabbing perhaps some Sneasels or Sneasel and Moltres with Quick Ball. And I think that we're kind of set up for everything that we want going into this game. This is actually the first game of the set that Tapa was able to go first in. And I think that is going to be advantageous. Whoever goes first in this matchup, probably going to be at the advantage. Shuto is starting with Articuno. Definitely not a card that you want immediately out in the game. Definitely good to have that thing in the active spot a little bit later in the game to protect from that boss for game. But I suppose you can't ask for everything. We also have the Ice Rider V on the bench. So there grabs the Sneasel with the Quick Ball. Type Null's going to come down on the bench. We could see a Quick Ball. We might be Quick Balling away Greninja and Zoroark. If we grab the Moltres, we're not able to Dire Flame Wing this turn, so it looks like we're just going to pass. I think that's the smart play. No reason to go ahead and grab that Moltres yet. without kind of having any use for it this turn. So the Sneasel on board and the Type Null on the bench, definitely pretty good. We're going to be able to evolve into the Weavile-GX and red and blue for the Silvally-GX and Quick Ball for another Pokemon, potentially Moltres. So definitely a great setup for next turn if we don't see any hand disruption, that one Marnie that is in Shuto's list. We'll have to see. The Sobble comes down, though, for Shuto. And there goes the Viridian Forest as well. So we'll see. The Melanie is actually discarded, I believe, with the Viridian Forest. And he's going to go ahead and grab the Water Energy. We want to attach for turn. This is our first turn. Especially going second, we cannot miss an energy attachment. And it looks like that's all he's going to be able to do, folks. Just going to attach that Water Energy and pass for his turn. Definitely not what he wanted. But probably could be a lot worse. I don't know. At least he got the energy attachment, and he's got a Sobble on the board. But that 3-card hand, I don't know. It might be kind of a dead hand. The red and blue will come out, though, and it looks like we're going to discard the Quick Ball and the Greninja and Zoroark. I think that might be the best option. We can attach that Air Balloon, and we can evolve the Weavile-GX, and that's going to be a fresh 5-card draw with the disc reload, as well as 2 energies on our board. So definitely not a bad play. We can also Dark Lance to KO the active Articuno. That could be also pretty beneficial, I think. Yeah, I mean, I think the setup right now for Tapa almost entirely complete in terms of everything that you might want here early in the game. And we've seen it 3 games in a row. This Dark Box list, incredibly consistent. Silvally-GX, so good. This early game combo here between the red and blue, evolve the Weavile-GX, accelerate 2 energies, and then draw 5 cards. Just so powerful. Sets up for the Dark Moon GX. Or just sets up for a big Dark Pulse later in the game. There's the Mewtwo Mew-GX, could be pretty beneficial. I like the Boss's Orders in hand as well. Another Air Balloon and a Pokemon Communication. So a lot of things that we could be doing here. We could Calm, potentially, for the Moltres. Having a Moltres on our bench would be really good. I don't know if we have any Dark Energies in the discard pile yet. We're actually going to discard that Air Balloon with the Viridian Forest to grab the Dark Energy, and now we can attach to the active. So yeah, I mean, we can just, Black Lance for KO on the Articuno, and we're most definitely going to be safe from getting KO next turn. So we can have that sweet Dark Moon GX for the turn after that. So I think it's a pretty good setup right now for Tapa. I think taking this 1 prize card's nice. Getting 4 energies on your board at this point, definitely pretty nice. We see the second Boss's Orders off of the prize card, pretty cool indeed. Yeah, I think that we're going to have to see something pretty spicy here from Shuto. We're going to need something really progressive here to kind of put him back in contention for this game. We're going to calm away a Shady Dealings in Teleon, and we're definitely going to be grabbing a Drizzile here so we can Shady Dealings, evolve that bad boy, and grab ourselves a trainer card. I'm not sure what he's going to be grabbing. I assume it's probably going to be a draw supporter. I don't think he had it in hand last turn, or else he would have played it. Maybe not, though. Who knows? He has the VMAX in hand, so we're going to go ahead and evolve that. He's going to put Path to the Peak in play, and now we're going to go ahead and draw 7 cards with the Professor's Research. So, pretty interesting play. Path to the Peak is not going to stop the Umbreon and Darkrai, so pretty beneficial at this point that you started with the Umbreon and Darkrai, so that, of course, you wouldn't have to get rid of that Path to the Peak to utilize Mewtwo and Mew-GX if that was your attacking Pokemon of choice. But even if we do 250 damage to this Umbreon and Darkrai, we're still going to be able to KO in retaliation with Dark Moon GX and take 3 prize cards, also not allowing your opponent to play trainer cards next turn. So incredibly powerful next turn attack that's going to be coming out from Tapa. But here comes the other Sobble. He's going to calm away a quick shooting Inteleon for another Ice Rider. I think this is the smart play. You know you're going to get KO'd. Evolution Incense is coming out. I'm not sure what he's grabbing here. Is it just going to be a Drizzile? I believe he benched that Sobble this turn, though, so I don't know what else we can do. If we don't get the second energy this turn for Shuto, if he misses the second energy attachment this turn and doesn't get the damage off, oh, he does. Absolutely devastating. This Ice Rider is going to go down to a Dark Moon GX. Well, actually, it might not. Actually, I don't even think we can Dark Moon GX this turn. Maybe. We'll see what we draw off the disc reload, but I think we need to grab Marshadow here so we can utilize some Dire Flame Wings. It's just the one Path to the Peak that is in Shuto's list. We got to get rid of it. Once it's gone, we don't have to deal with it, but The reset stamp might come out just so we can burn that extra card. I think that getting the KO on this Ice Rider this turn is going to be the most valuable and most important thing that we can do, and we're going to go ahead and justify that by drawing those extra cards with the disc reload. It's going to be really important for sure. I don't know if we have any Dark Energies in the discard pile, but we need to discard one, and we also need to attach one this turn to get the Dark Moon GX attack off. Here's the Dedenne-GX. What we could do is Sabrina and Brycen, and then Dedenne-GX. I think that could actually get us there. So we'll see. I think that's exactly the play that he might be going for at this point. Let's go ahead and check it out. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. I think that is exactly what we're going to do. So yeah, now we've got it. Now we've got the Dark Moon GX, so a really great draw off the disc reload like I just said we needed. We're going to be able to Dedenne-GX, so that's one attachment. We're going to discard one, and we can Dire Flame Wings the other with that Path to the Peak now gone. That is 6 energies. We're going to be able to move them onto Umbreon and Darkrai, take the KO on this Ice Rider VMAX 4-3 prize cards, and then all we have to do is go through that Ice Rider V, if, of course, it doesn't get evolved. If not, we can kind of potentially go through a couple single prize Pokemon or 2-hit KO of VMAX. Either way, definitely not a great spot to be in right now if you are Shuto. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correct, by the way, honestly. I mean, I've been saying that all video, but I don't know. Pretty bad with names. Anyway, Dark Moon GX, here we go. Boom, 3 prize cards coming at you. And I don't believe he can play any trainer cards from his hand next turn. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what Dark Moon GX does. Should probably look into that. Give me one moment while we wait. Yeah, can't play any training cards during their next turn. Absolutely incredible. The Shady Dealings is going to come out, and no VMAX. So if I don't know if we have Boss's Orders left in the deck. If we do, though, Mewtwo and Mew-GX would seal the game with the Dark Pulse, I believe. I don't know if we have Boss, though. We might have discarded all of our Boss's Orders last turn when we discarded 2. But we'll see. A lot of cards in the hand that we can most definitely thin out as well. We're going to calm away the Crobat, which is interesting. Does he still have a Mewtwo and Mew-GX in his deck? I don't know if he does, actually. He might have discarded the card. We'll have to see. He does have Mewtwo and Mew-GX. Does have Boss's Orders. So, I mean, this is incredibly possible. It's super, super possible. Not that it's super needed that you really need to win the game this turn. Just kind of something that, in fact, it might not even be the best play. We could just Black Lance, KO the active Drizzile, and then set up for a KO on the Inteleon the following turn. That could just be a play. We have Boss's Orders in deck, so you really kind of just think about what's the most consistent play that we can make here. First things first, though, we're going to try to get as many energies on our board as possible. We're going to Quick Ball away the Viridian. And again, kind of just thinning out some cards in his hand right now. And honestly, I think that at this point, we're just going to try to set up for the win next turn. I don't think... I mean, he could just Dedenne here. But we don't really have anything to KO the Ice Rider V. Unless, of course... Yeah, no, we can't. We can't this turn, at least. But we're just going to set up for the win next turn. And I think that's going to be plenty fine for Tapa here. I mean, all of his Pokemon are full HP, and Shuto hasn't actually taken any prize cards yet this game. So Tapa definitely in the lead here, feeling pretty comfortable. There's the Boss's Orders, exactly what he needed. And he's going to bring up the Ice Rider. So I think just getting damage off on this could be really good. Kind of forces kind of a checkmate situation. Because now we're setting up the 2-hit KO if you were to evolve it. If you switch out of the active spot, we can just kind of go ahead and just KO these single prize Pokemon one after another and then win the game. So realistically, I think that Tapa's in an incredible situation right now. I don't know if Shuto can kind of get out of this one, if I'm being 100% honest. We're going to go ahead and move 3 of those energies off of the Umbreon and Darkrai. We just don't need them there. We only need 3 on here to Black Lance. And I think that definitely the safe play would be to do this. And I think that we can potentially also move them off of the Moltres. The only problem with that is we only have one Weavile-GX, right? So if we move them off the Moltres and that Weavile-GX gets bossed up, then that could be kind of an awkward situation. So potentially, we're not going to move those energies off the Moltres. It might be smarter just to keep them there. The Malolana might be really nice to have in hand, just a switching out, even though the active does have Air Balloon. Could, again, just be a good option. He's actually just going to burn the card and not going to put anything else in hand, and I think he wants to draw some extra cards here with Disc Reload. Still has a boss left in his deck as well. Absolutely insane. He is running 4 bosses order, so that does make sense, and none of them are in the prize card. So here comes a Black Lance, and we're just going to go ahead and feel pretty good about doing this. Actually, he retreats into the Moltres, and we're going to Aura Burn for a 190. Kind of the same difference there. If it does get KO'd, we're only giving him 2 prize cards. We're actually doing extra damage as well. So I do like this play, and I actually think this is the better play because now, 150 and 150 wasn't going to get the KO on the VMAX, so I think doing 190 this turn was definitely the best play, so that no matter what next turn, Black Lance is going to be able to get the KO on the VMAX. The only problem with this is if this Moltres gets KO'd, this is kind of checkmate. You know what I mean? You can't KO the Moltres and switch into an Inteleon. So, I think Tapa has it right here. I think he's got everything that he needs. Yeah, we're just going to see the pass, and unfortunately, Chill Series number 44 will end just like that. Tapa playing Dark Box will get the win over Shuto's Ice Rider VMAX Calyrex. Absolutely incredible. Great grand final set. Super entertaining. Congrats to both players. Absolutely incredible. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Matty from Chill TCG. You guys have a great night. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for all of the new Evolving Skies videos that we will be uploading here in the next few weeks. Also, don't forget to play in Chill Series number 45 next week, where Evolving Skies will be legal for play, and we will have Evolving Skies packs in the prize pool. Shout out to PTCGO Zone for sponsoring the tournament. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Matty from Chill TCG. You guys have a great night. We'll see you guys soon. Peace out.